Hello, everyone. I would like to share a strategy that has been useful for my multilingual students in mastering math vocabulary. Our ML learners are many times in need of strategies to help them in the acquisition of vocabulary in math. We all know that they are trying to understand and implement a second language to communicate, and in addition, they are also expected to perform well in math by correctly using math procedures as well as the language. As ML teachers, we can help our students improve on their literacy skills while also providing them with vocabulary instruction upfront with math concepts. This will help them tackle math content ahead of time or at least have them familiarized with the content. So let's begin. There are several ways to build math vocabulary. In this presentation, I will focus on the second grade math standard. Solve problems or solve word problems involving quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies within 99 cents, using the cent symbols appropriately. Usually, the homeroom teacher will focus their attention on content objectives and language objectives, but our ML students require that we give them input and help them with the vocabulary, and even break down a lesson for them to have language comprehension of the content. In this case, I was working with my students on solving word problems involving money. But how do we break down a lesson into smaller parts? Well, by incorporating different activities that will input language gradually, making it easier for the students to understand the content and eventually to start using mathematical concepts. So you see here the vocabulary, the prerequisite skills, and the objectives. Paying special attention to the language objectives. Next, I would like to show you some activities that I have used with my students that have not only helped them to stay engaged, but also help them using the target language. Before I start a new content, I begin with exploratory question, which allows me to explore how much the students know about the subject beforehand, and also to align the instruction according to the student's needs. So my first suggestion would be to begin your class with background knowledge. Explore what they know. In this case, I would ask them, do you know the name of these coins? The next step is to introduce the vocabulary using visuals. I usually create Google Docs with pictures. You can also use Google Slides and put their pictures, images, and questions for the students. The visuals help students remember information and form an idea of what we're talking about, allowing them to get a better process of the information. I save my Google Docs or Google Slides for future classes, and I also improve them throughout the years. After presenting the vocabulary, I like to do a hands-on activity with the new content. In this case, I used fake coins to show the students. I asked them to repeat the names of the coins and also the values of each coin or the value of each coin. I modeled for the students how to figure out how much money I would have at that moment using several examples. Then I also handed out some coins, whiteboard, and whiteboard markers to the students and asked them to do the same with their partners. So there goes the partner work. Finally, they would work independently. I would walk around the room checking on the students and asking them questions such as, how many quarters do you have? Do you have more pennies than dimes? Or how many nickels do you have? And so on. When everybody's done with this activity, I ask them to share information with their partners. I would write some sentence starters on the board that they can use to answer while using complete sentences. This helps a lot our students to practice their language and also speaking skills using content vocabulary. For example, I could ask them a question, how much money do you have? And they could answer, I have, or he has, or she has, and so on. Complementarily, I frequently use apps such as Vocabulary to support math vocabulary acquisition through videos. These help students to better retain information and understand concepts. In this case, I used Vocabulary. Both videos that you see on this slide are linked to the presentation. In this case, I used bills and coins, and they liked it a lot. Finally, after presenting the new vocabulary, it's time to practice the language. I suggest the use of I-ready activities, especially for those indicated, such as the one you see here at the bottom of the presentation, English language learners, where it says, discuss how the money is used in the child's native culture and compare that to the U.S. currency, and if possible, correlate their money to ours. So in many activities of I-ready, you will find suggestions for English language learners, so take advantage of it. Teachers can also start building a word wall with math vocabulary. Word walls are a great resource for scaffolding vocabulary that students can use as a reference when needed. Students can help you build it, making it interactive, just like the one I started with my second graders. Last, before the students leave the classroom, I always check on them and ask them to tell me something they learned in class that day, or to recount what they did. They should answer using the sentence starters on the board. Today I learned, or today we learned. This last discussion allows them to reaffirm what they have learned and can be used also as an exit ticket. I hope that this presentation on language comprehension for the acquisition of math vocabulary will also help you and your multilingual students in the future. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.